Welcome into the Vegas Squares podcast, where we discuss all things sports and sports betting. Presented by 12 Ounce Sports Radio. All right, welcome into the next edition of the Vegas Squares podcast. We are back in studio. It is myself and Token Tony here in studio, going to discuss a little bit of football, a little bit of baseball. We got a little bit of smorgasbord of everything going on in the world of sports. We want to thank Spike for not being here because the podcast always just takes a little tick upwards when he's not around. So, Spike, thanks for not showing up. Enjoy your trip to Boston.
Well, this last week for him was a good week for NFL picks, so.
Yeah, and he walked around here prancing with his chest poked out, peacocking all around. Fuck that guy.
Fair enough.
Guy gets 10 points, and all of a sudden he's freaking Jimmy the Greek.
He's king of the hill, top of the world.
And once you start a Vegas Insider, there's Spike.
No wonder why the NFL did well sports betting.
Yeah, the books got crushed because Spike was giving out picks last week. Anyways, well, we are here. We are the Vegas Squares podcast, myself and Token Tony. We are in studio, and it is currently, the record date is a Wednesday. You will be listening to this on 12 Ounce Sports Radio on Thursday. We want to thank 12 Ounce Sports Radio, our sponsor, our key sponsor, for putting us on 4 times a week. We are on Mondays at 8 p.m., Thursdays at 7 p.m., Saturdays at 11 a.m., and Sundays at 10 a.m., all times Eastern. Also want to thank our other sponsors, ChaiPoker.com and VGK Pop Sockets. ChaiPoker.com, they got I know we pippin it in every podcast, but they got their charity tournament coming up December 1st at the South Point.
Yeah, definitely excited to be there for that. Good event, good times, good people, good cause.
Good times, good people, good cause. It is at the South Point. It's a 120 plus 10, $130 buy-in all together. There will be pizza provided by Grimaldi's and raffle and door prizes, I believe, before the tournament and at the first break. So it's going to be a good time if you're in the Vegas area on December 1st. It is a Saturday. Please come on out and support a good cause. It is benefiting the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southern Nevada. So what's going on in your world? We haven't talked since Sunday. It is now Wednesday. What's going on in your world?
Not too much. Been looking at upcoming events for bowling, tennis, all that. The low-key sports.
Speaking of low-key, you should do like a side podcast. You should come here and do a side podcast about bowling. I don't know who you would talk to, because maybe you can talk to Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
He's a bowler.
Absolutely, yeah. Hell of a bowler. He'd probably beat my ass right now. I haven't bowled in a while, but.
We are wearing a bowling shirt.
That is true.
What is 900 Global?
It's a bowling brand.
Is it?
Yeah, it's.
I thought that was just something you were I hope to achieve one day, 900.
That would be definitely a key achievement, but yeah.
A 900 is what, 3 straight perfect games?
3 straight perfect games and 1 3-game series, yes.
Has anybody ever done that?
I think there's 22 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
Is Pete Weber one of them?
No.
He's the only bowler I know. And Chris Paul.
He actually withdrew from the U.S. Open this last week due to back injury as well as just poor performance.
All right, we're sorry. We know we should get back on track here because we know you're not listening on Bended Knee for bowling news. But anyways, there's a lot going on the last couple of days. Let's start, because by the time you listen to this on 12 Ounce, you'll be about an hour away from kickoff at Carolina at Pittsburgh. So we're going to start by talking about that game. Current line consensus on Vegas Insider is -4 in favor of Pittsburgh. Total 51.5. Initial thoughts, not necessarily about the spread, just initial thoughts about this game. Obviously, Le'Veon Bell again will not play. But both teams look relatively healthy, and both teams are really firing on all cylinders at this point.
Yeah, I believe the offense of I was about to say the Penguins, but the Steelers.
Penguins are just okay right now.
Yeah. I don't know. They have a pretty good offense right now, but.
Fair, yeah.
I think the offense of the Steelers is pretty dominant, and they just take away with this game and feast on the defense of the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, no real injuries in this game to report. James Conner, I mean, what's to say about James Conner right now? I mean, you got all of this. You know, he's gone for 1,000 total yards overall so far in, I believe, 9 weeks. What are they, 5-2-1, so 8 games. and all this swirling with Le'Veon Bell. Is he this? Is he that? What do you think, James Conner, what's going through his mind when his coach basically kind of snips the cord on all of the Le'Veon Bell talk by saying, hey, we're here to play ball. We're not going to have one guy, keep our team hostage.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think Tomlin's doing a good job with keeping that ruckus down to a minimum, and Connor's doing what he does best and just performing very well. So
I mean, it seems like a month ago we had freaking Antonio Brown causing problems. Big Ben wasn't right. They lost to not Cleveland, but they lost to Kansas City. They tied Cleveland. It was like the sky was falling, and now what are they? 5-2-1.
Yeah, they're 5-2-1 and leading the division and just almost running away with it.
Yeah, I mean Cincinnati is close behind, but they don't really have too much going on.
Baltimore with their loss last week to them is
4-5's got to be tough. Yeah, I mean you look at it. The first 2 weeks of the year, you got tie, loss, and then they beat Tampa by holding on, and even then they didn't feel like they were, a dominant. Then they lost to Baltimore by getting creamed, and then they rattled off 4 in a row. What do you see in this spot right now? I mean, you got -4 in favor of the home team. Generally, Thursday night games tend to favor the home team just because of, obviously, comfort, security, short week, practicing at home, not having to travel. I mean, it feels like both of these teams, although firing on all cylinders, Pittsburgh's offense just seems to be playing a little bit better than Carolina, although that's not discrediting Carolina at all.
Yeah, absolutely. In my mindset, Steelers right now are the better team, and Carolina, I don't think needs the win as desperately as...
don't forget the Saints are above them.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think Carolina sneaks into a wild card spot at this point, and Steelers, I think, just prove themselves even more to the fan base as well as the NFL. They're in to make a show in the AFC playoffs. So.
Yeah, because we all thought, things aren't kind of going off the wagon a little bit, but now they look like they're the team nobody really wants to face at this point. What do you make of the Panthers right now? I mean, you have Christian McCaffrey, who's had 150 plus yards and 2 touchdowns last week against the Bucs. Not saying that the Bucs defense, or excuse me, not saying the Pittsburgh defense is bad, but they're not as bad as the Bucs, but they're not great. I mean, they're giving up 23 points a game. At home, they're actually only giving up, or actually they're giving up more. They're giving up 25 at home. It's kind of hard to see. I mean, they just have a lot of weapons, in my opinion. I mean, you have Greg Olsen, you have DJ Moore coming about, Christian McCaffrey, Cam's actually throwing with some accuracy. It's really hard. I mean, it's really hard not to take the points in this spot, but everything really just leans Steelers. Smith-Schuster, what a tongue twister. Smith-Schuster is a number 1 receiver on so many other teams right now, being able to run the routes.
And he's a very good number 2 to Antonio Brown, for sure.
Yeah, Antonio Brown's not too shabby. Carolina has trouble on the road. They're 1-2 this year, 1-2 against the spread. Only scoring 20 points a game, giving up 24 points a game. Last time these two teams met, I believe Ben was able to just kind of annihilate them.
Yeah, and I see something similar happening. I think Carolina keeps it a little closer. I do like the over in the spot. Total is currently at
51.5.
Yeah. I see Pittsburgh winning this game pretty handily, though. 37-20, something around there.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to take the Steelers here. I'm going to take the 4 points. I think Carolina can keep it close. I think at the end, Pittsburgh pushes the spread up to 6 or 7, or pushes the final score up to 6 or 7 point difference. Let's see. You like the over 51.5? I'm not sure I'm in love with that, but I'm thinking this game falls somewhere around 28-24 Steelers.
So
somewhere 30 to 20, yeah, 30 to 24, somewhere around those numbers. And that's what scares me, is because Carolina's defense does play pretty well. There's defensive secondary could use a little help. Eric Reed coming along, getting used to the offense, or getting used to the defense, excuse me. has been obviously a boost for them. So
Yeah, I think with that being said, Carolina that comes out of the gate kind of struggling, gives up some early points, and just can't get back in the game as well as they hoped.
yeah, that's fair too. All right, well let's. So I've got Pittsburgh -4. You're taking the over.
And I do like Pittsburgh -4 too. So
All right, let's take it to the window. Pittsburgh -4. Let's talk about the college football games. Well, there's only really one big one of note, and that's North Carolina State playing. Who the fuck are they playing? I just had it up here. Wake Forest. They're playing Wake Forest.
yeah.
It's not the only game, obviously, that's happening, but it is the only game of merit to be relevant on Thursday. What do you think? North Carolina State coming off of 2 straight losses. Or, excuse me, actually, no. After the 2 losses, they beat Florida State pretty handedly. Wake Forest, a team that actually just got drubbed by Syracuse, another team that North Carolina State lost to. Right now, Findlay, they're 5-0 at home, so it's not like I'm not seeing the Wolfpack win here, but it is a 17-point spread. Over-under is 70.
Yeah, I don't like the total. I like Wake in the spot, though. I think they cover the 17. They play hard. They're trying to get themselves bowl eligible. They're 4-5 currently. North Carolina State still wants to make a little proof of themselves, maybe get into a little better bowl, but I don't see it really happening, even if they really win out even. Yeah.
Well, they're going to play in a pretty decent bowl. I believe they're 14th in the nation right now, and their 3-game stretch to finish out the season, I believe, is like Wake Forest, North Carolina, and North Carolina's the last game, but I think their last 3 games are like the bottom barrel of the ACC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, they could maybe get a New Year's Eve bowl or something, but
Yeah, I mean, there's the chance that they could. I mean, it's a very small chance, but Clemson loses to Boston College, and then loses to, I believe they have. Shit, I can't remember who they have left, but I believe if Clemson happens to somehow stumble twice, the Wolfpack could get into the ACC championship, which would be crazy.
yeah, that would be pretty insane at this point. But
You see anything like? I mean, Clemson's so good.
Clemson's so good. I mean, I think at this point, being said, I think they're the only true contenders with Alabama to win the college football championship game.
Not UCF.
Committee's not even going to give them a shot. I mean,
Well, they should.
they should have last year.
Clemson has Boston College and Duke. They would have to lose both of those for the Wolfpack to have a shot. Actually, no, they wouldn't even have a shot. They got no shot. Yeah, no, they could. No, they can't. Because if they lose 2 games, the Wolfpack will have 2 losses, and Clemson beat the Wolfpack. Clemson beat North Carolina State. I mean, I guess yeah, there's nothing. Clemson's already locked its spot up in the title game.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
And, I mean,
Let's see, who's North Carolina State got left? They got Louisville. They got Wake Forest, Louisville, North Carolina. 3 bottom barrel basements, and then they go East Carolina to finish.
Yeah, they could win all 3 of those games.
Well, that's the makeup game that they got, the Hurricane game, the East Carolina game.
I don't know. I think NC State wins this game tonight, and
They finish 10-2. They'll probably jump UCF because everybody else fucking does.
I don't know.
But if they finish 10-2, that Syracuse game is going to kick them in the nuts.
Yeah.
Only losing by 10, but they're 14th right now. Yeah, that game's going to kick them in the nuts.
I don't know. I think if UCF runs the table pretty handily, they might get a New Year's Six bowl, maybe.
Yeah, if they run the table, they're going to go to. Well, let me say this: they're going to go to a New Year's Six bowl if they run the table. I'm hoping it's Fiesta, for personal reasons.
Because it's closer.
Because it's closer, but I'm thinking it's going to be Peach.
Again.
Because it's closer for UCF proximity.
It'd be nice to see them come out west and play.
Yeah, I mean, I saw them come out here right before I moved here in 2013. They played Baylor and beat them. I'd love to see them play LSU in the Peach Bowl and beat them, and then watch all these guys go, "Oh, they were unmotivated. They're Super Bowl." I don't give a fuck. Play the team in front of you.
Yeah.
They keep saying that about Auburn. Auburn was an unmotivated. a motivated opponent. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they weren't. I mean,
Yeah.
Kerryon Johnson, who's now on your Detroit Lions, came out and said, we wanted to beat them because nobody wants to be the team that loses to a G5.
Yeah. Your shout out to your buddy Henry as well, if he listens. He was talking some UCF yesterday and was at the Peach Bowl as well last year, and had some sideline reports saying from Auburn's perspective that they weren't going to come out firing all cylinders, but they didn't want to get embarrassed by UCF, and that's what happened. So,
well, I mean, they only lost by 7. But, I mean,
the mindset of Auburn.
Too slow, too fast, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm standing here looking at 4 undefeated teams, and one of them's not in the top 4.
Not even the top 10.
Not even the top 10, yeah. I mean, Kentucky lost. They were number 9. They only slid to number 11. Like, UCF, I just don't know what is it going to take. I mean, the rest of the schedule looks like. Problem is, Cincinnati fell out of the top 25. South Florida fell off the top 25. And Houston is who they'll probably play in the West. Mm-hmm. They never lost. Well, they never were in the top 25.
But they just lost, and
right. So it kind of creates a little bit of a problem for UCF, unfortunately. Hopefully,
I think if UCF runs the table and runs it pretty handily, they get a pretty good New Year's Six bowl. Probably the Peach, like you were saying.
It's got to be Houston, though. The other teams. Houston has Temple coming up, which gave UCF Temple, Tulane, and Memphis, the 3 toughest, possible opponents they could have. Problem is SMU is the beneficiary of Houston stumbles, and I don't think UCF playing SMU in the title game
helps for any cause.
Yeah. You really gonna break open? You couldn't have broken that food open before we started recording. You had fucking 20 minutes to break that food up. I don't care. Open it now. It's all over the podcast now. Open it. What is that, a fucking Twinkie?
No, coffee cake.
Go ahead. We'll wait. Open it. Go ahead.
Or your fat friend.
Here, I'll open it for you, your fat friend. Anyway, 17. Man, we got off on a tangent. 17 points on NC State. So you like Wake Forest in this spot?
Yeah, I think Wake Forest keeps it marginally close with them trying to produce a cause for a bowl game, but I see NC State winning this game by about 10 or so.
I'll take that bet.
All right.
$10. I'll take North Carolina State minus 17.
All right. Lock it up.
Give me the push.
Yeah, I'll give you the push.
All right, I can take that. Offshore, it's 18.5. You should have pushed for that one. Fucking fat ass with a coffee cake in his mouth.
Nom nom.
Jesus, where do I find these people? All right, let's. What are we talking about? We're talking about college football. We're moving on from college football. Let's talk about Jamarcus Russell. Speaking of college football, have you read this yet?
Not yet.
Oh my God. All right. Well, let me give you the spiel from all the reports that are coming out. Is that the Raiders coaching staff? We all know Jamarcus Russell was maybe, if not the most or the biggest bust, one of the biggest busts in NFL draft. Correct? That can be agreed upon.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I'd say he's bigger than Ryan Leaf because 1, he went number 1, and 2, he was just bad at all points. Like,
yeah, I
think he was out of the league quicker than Ryan Leaf.
I mean, his completion percentage was pretty abysmal at 52%. His touchdown to interception ratio was awful at 18-23
in 30 games, in 31 games. Yeah. I would say he's. I'll just make the point that he's the biggest draft bust in NFL history of my life.
I would agree with that statement. Yeah.
Well, let's see this. Okay, if you're the Raiders, you could have had Calvin Johnson at number 2, Joe Thomas at number 3, Patrick Willis, or Darrelle Revis. Any of those would have been substantially better than Jamarcus Russell. Even if they had average careers, they would have been substantially better.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, to pretty much play 2 years in the NFL and be a complete bust like that, especially for a decent Raiders team at the time. So.
But anyways, the story is that David Deal, who was a former offensive lineman, said that the Raiders coaches used to give Jamarcus Russell blank tapes to figure out if he was studying film or not. And when Russell would come back into the facilities, he would say that he watched the blitz packages. So Raiders coaches or Raiders brass knew he was not watching the tapes.
Yeah, and as a pro player, I mean, I think you should be upfront. But, I mean, I think he didn't really give a fuck at the time, so.
The thing is all he had to do was even pretend to put it in, or at least let it run, and not rewind it. Because I assume, let's see, when was he? 2007? We had DVDs then, right? I assume tape was still on tape. You think film tape?
I would say so.
The only reason I say that is because if it was tape, he could watch it and then not rewind it and at least play it somewhere and say, "Yeah, I watched the tape."
Yeah.
But he didn't even do that. I mean, he didn't put it in to see. Okay, it's a blank tape. Like I don't even know, dude. He can tell he didn't even try.
I mean, he could have just put it in his VCR and lit it on fire and been like, I put it in and just exploded.
It was a blitz package.
Yeah,
I mean, only the Raiders, right?
No, I wouldn't say only the Raiders, but I'm sure Jamarcus Russell is more to blame on this. But
oh yeah, it's Jamarcus. I mean, but I'm saying, like, how much due diligence did they do on Jamarcus Russell? I mean, because look at what we have. We have, the combine is a meat market now at this point, and all of these things. That how much. Maybe it's because of Jamarcus Russell how much stock we put into scouts. I mean, excuse me, not scouts, but prospects.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Trying to look up his contract, how much he made, because maybe Jamarcus Russell is one of the smartest guys in the world. He signed a 6-year, $61 million contract, which was $32 million guaranteed, so almost over half. Which
was pretty big back then in the day, yeah.
Let's see how much he earned, because he didn't finish his contract. He was out of the league by 2010. Mm-hmm. Dead money. His dead money was on the books until 2012. And he earned exactly $32 million. Actually, he earned $39 million. There was incentives.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty solid.
What the hell did he get? What incentive did he hit? Let's see. He got a workout bonus and an incentive bonus.
I hope for now.
What was he working out? He was a fat. He was.
I hope it wasn't for watching tapes.
Yeah, right. Hope he wasn't working out on the fucking VCR.
Well, like a Chinese guy on the calculator. Work.
Oh my God. He earned all day. He earned $39.36 million.
And he's the one laughing now at the franchise.
That's what I'm saying. He's the one. He walked for 4 years of work, quote unquote work. He earned $39 million. And the thing is, it's usually you're a number one pick, right?
Yeah.
It takes a lot for a number one pick to get released in 3 years.
I would say so, yeah.
But this is also back in the era of the contracts where they signed, Matt Stafford, I think, was the last guy to get huge money. Or maybe Cam Newton.
As a rookie, yeah.
But, to get cut after 3 years, and I don't know this for a fact, but I don't think he even got a look by anybody else. A number one pick.
I mean, he was just that bad. That's why nobody maybe even thought about it. I mean, I'm sure some teams maybe briefly thought about it and they're laughed at themselves for even thinking so.
Do you think Bill Belichick could bring him back? Could have made anything out of him?
Slim possibility, but
let's see. He had 4,083 yards and 18 touchdowns in 3 seasons. Oh, I got to get the calculator out here. Hold on.
Average of 6 per year.
4,083 yards.
That's about 1,300 yards.
Divided by $32 million.
It's about...
He got paid... Did I do that right? No. I did that backwards. $32 million. Enough zeros? No, there's enough. Divided by 4,083 yards. He got paid $7,837 for every yard he threw. And let's see, 32 million. Oh, he got 39 million. Excuse me, that's right. He got 39 million.
So that bumps it up to about 9.
Divided by 18 touchdowns. He got paid $2.16 million for every touchdown he threw.
Yeah.
Good night. 15 lost fumbles, 23 interceptions, and a passer rating of 45.2.
I thought you were going to say a little lower than that. I thought you were going to say like 38.
Nope.
Wow. That's pretty awful.
Oh, my God. That's just... But you know what? Like you said, he's...
I wonder if you watched the tapes if that would have improved him or made him worse, though. I would have hoped it would have improved him, but I don't know.
It's true. Yeah, I have no clue.
Sometimes if you watch tapes and all that, you might start overthinking and all that, so...
Well, any overthinking would have been better than the thinking that he had. Did whatever he.
I think his football IQ was bottom of the basement for this draft class for the first round. So
I think 7th round picks probably are like
Mr. Relevant was more relevant.
Yeah, he felt more relevant than freaking Jamari. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. I mean, at what point do you? How many times do you think they sent home a tape? Like, how many weeks do you think they sent home tape to see if he watched? Do you think like Jamarcus Russell was like executing the long con? Be good at football, play for a couple years, walk off with $39 million after or before taxes.
Yeah.
So before taxes, let's see. That's if you pay California, I think it's like a 10% state income tax. So that's 3.9. Yeah. Let's just say he walked off with 30. Hell, let's just say he walked off with...
Well, minus federal tax, too, I mean...
Oh, that's right, 30%, you're right. So let's take off 30% total.
40.
So that's what? Let's say $40 million. He walked off with 25 of it after taxes.
I would say a little lower, probably about 21.
Well, you figure 30% is 12, so that's 28. I just went lower for just a little bit more.
Yeah, but then you add on the California state income tax.
No, 30%. Federal's 20, roughly 20.
Well, if you're making that much more money, you get a higher tax bracket, too.
Not in federal, though. I know what you're saying, but I'm saying federal is still roughly like 23%. You think it's 25?
I think it's closer to 25, yeah.
All right, let's say it's 25 plus 10 is 35. Whatever, fuck it. I mean, let's say he made $24 million after taxes.
Yeah, that's still pretty handy.
He ain't hurting. Speaking of another guy who's getting ready to get paid, Jerry Jones basically said... He's young and he is getting extended when talking about Rayne Dakota Prescott, the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
It's Jerry's team. He can do whatever he wants, but do you agree with extending Dak Prescott?
I don't know at this point. I mean, I think a good evaluation would be year-by-year contract, but...
Well, that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
No NFL football player is going to go around saying, yeah, I'll take one-year deals. I mean, look at Le'Veon Bell. He could have had one-year, $15 million deals until he was blue in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was a bad move by Dallas right now, and I think they could do better with what's ahead in the next few years in the draft.
Well, what is ahead the next few years in the draft? Because I mean, it's like you look at it. I mean, look at what we have quarterback. Tua's going to be gone for another year, or in college for another year.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts maybe.
Jalen Hurts worse than fucking Prescott. If he was good, he'd be starting.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Ian Book, who may come out in a couple years in Nebraska. Jake Fromm still got at least 1 year at Georgia. I mean, Minshew at Washington State maybe. I forget who they were talking about. Jake Browning could come out of Washington. Pull up McShay. Who are the quarterback prospects? I'll pull it up. McShay's quarterback prospects. What do they got? There's the top 30. Well, there's the top 32. That'll be a good. I want to say that there's one guy like off the radar that's like the top quarterback right now.
Murray? Or no, not Murray.
Oh, fuck. I'm not an ESPN insider. Fuck these motherfuckers. NFL QB prospects.
Ian Book is probably who you're thinking about from North Dakota.
No, Ian Book plays for Notre Dame.
Oh, Notre Dame.
Nice try.
Wrong Andy.
Yeah. No dick. Let's see. 2019 quarterbacks. I don't want Darnold. Darnold is not the top candidate for next year's draft. Justin Herbert. That's what I was thinking of Oregon. So you have guys like that. I mean, he's a prototypical pocket passer. I'm not saying that. Anyways, let's get back to. I mean, you have Justin Herbert. Let's see who else is there. There's Drew Lock. Ryan Finley. Nothing really like jumps off the page right now. So my thought process is I believe they have one more year with Prescott as far as his rookie deal. And that's what I'm saying. They don't have to extend him. I mean, I understand that it would be, holding over the franchise's head next year. But, I mean, Jacksonville did this with Blake Bortles, last year. I mean, he's got one more year, 2019, at $815,000.
Yeah.
Go load up. Let me try to find Cowboys
salary cap.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have plenty of cap space right now.
Maybe. Hold on, let's see.
I'm guessing the high-low digit, maybe.
They pay a lot of guys. I mean, they're paying Tyron Smith like 10 or 17 million bucks.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Lawrence 17 million.
A lot of the linemen they're paying pretty handily for too. But
that's what you do when you have a quarterback who's making next to nothing. Sport Track is calculating Dak Prescott's market value at $24 million. Now, I don't think you should pay him that, but I think you give Dak one more year to see. And let's see, what is their cap right now? Their total cap, they have $6 million in cap space. I'm trying to see what comes off next year. A better one is Cap Friendly. You ever go on Cap Friendly? I usually use it for hockey, but Cap Friendly is really good for NFL as far as showing how far out these guys' contracts.
Yeah, the future deals and all that, and whatever dead money comes off.
I think I got too many browser windows open at this point. My whole computer just froze. Anyways, point being is that let me close the Jamarcus Russell windows because we don't need to talk about him anymore.
No.
Let's see. Cap Friendly. Come on. Let's see. Teams. Oh, Cap Friendly only seems to be hockey. No wonder.
Fair enough.
I thought it was NFL.
All sports, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, going forward, Dak Prescott you don't need to re-sign him this year. And I think what Jerry Jones says, he's going to be extended. Next year is his fourth year, and then they have an option for a fifth year. So what they're saying is if things don't go well next year, if they're 8-8 again or whatever, because the thing is an 8-8 season right now for the Dallas Cowboys might be good, but it's not good enough for
Jerry Jones and Jerry Roldan.
Right.
All the fan base.
But the thing is so they've skipped this year. If they really got their sights set on Tua, you run Dak out there again and punt 2019 and go pick up Tagovailoa.
Yeah. I mean, I think cause for concern if you're a Cowboys fan. I think they get better if they get rid of Garrett potentially. And
well, that was the other thing that was kind of looking at. The Jason Garrett situation is he gave Garrett, being Jerry Jones, the dreaded vote of confidence, which we all know how that goes sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think just Jerry Jones has something for Garrett. I don't know.
Well, I think Jason Garrett has incriminating evidence against Jerry Jones.
Blackmail or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. I got the breakdowns. In 2018, they'll have, let's see, how much available cap. They'll have about $30 million in cap estimated in after 2018. Or excuse me, going into 2018, they'll have $30 million.
No.
And they'll have 66 signed players.
It's pretty handy.
Yeah. And then going into 2019, this is what's crazy. They'll only have $6 million in cap. $6 more million in cap. They'll go from $149 million this upcoming year to next year. They'll have $143 million, and they'll only have 46 players signed.
Yeah, that's a drop off of 20, and you're only gaining 6.
You're losing 20 players, and you're only gaining $6 million in salary.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of those are like practice squad / extra board people. So
Maybe, but I mean, the thing is yeah, you still have so much money you have to fill a roster. I mean,
with $36 million to fill in probably 20 potential spots.
but this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, here comes 2020. They have 20 signed players, which 2 of them are going to be Dak Prescott that needs to be re-signed or option, 5th option, and then your boy Ezekiel Elliott becomes a free agent.
Yeah, and that's one piece I don't think they want to lose.
They're not letting Ezekiel Elliott walk out the door. So, as much as we're talking about paying Le'Veon Bell right now, Ezekiel Elliott might be commanding that kind of money too.
Yeah.
But you have almost $100 million at that point, which that'll change because they'll sign players this offseason and next offseason. My point being is that right now you have 2019 coming in. You can skip a quarterback in the draft, try to build positionally. Obviously, they don't have a first-round pick because they just traded for Amari Cooper. So you need to spend your second-round picks, your third-round picks, your fourth-round picks, fixing a defense that's not that great.
Yeah.
Leighton Vander Esch needs to find some way to become probably the what's the word I'm looking for? The
leader?
No, for Sean Lee, the replacement. God, why can I not think of the replacement? He needs to become the replacement for Sean Lee because this guy, as good as Sean Lee is, he can't stay on the fucking field. He's out again this week.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's...
The offensive line needs to get healthy.
Yeah.
And then you give Prescott a chance. If he does great. Go ahead and go exercise the 5th-year option. If he doesn't, that's okay too, because you can exercise the 5th-year option on Dak Prescott at like $18, $19 million, and then ship the farm to try to draft Tua.
Yeah.
Or maybe something else. There's another prospect that comes out. Or maybe I just don't think you draft him now. If you're Jerry Jones and you're telling me you have faith in Dak Prescott, you can't go drafting a quarterback because you're not going to get these Herberts and these Locks. I don't know, what are they projected to be? Who needs what?
Yeah.
I mean, who needs a quarterback right now? I mean, realistically, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, this guy sucks. Like, yeah, of course the Bills need a quarterback because Josh Allen, nobody's good. But they've drafted a guy.
Yeah. I'd say maybe about 8 teams or whatever.
But I can't really name a lot of them. I mean, okay, look at the rosters. You have Jacksonville may need a quarterback going forward, but they just extended Bortles, so they're going to have to figure out maybe you pay Bortles the quarterback money while you draft and develop a young quarterback. Are the Dolphins going to move on from Tannehill?
If they're smart, I think so.
Are the Bucks going to be looking for a quarterback? So all 3 Florida teams might be looking for a quarterback.
Yeah, I would say so.
Are the Chargers won't? The Raiders may. 49ers aren't.
I don't think the Raiders are going to get rid of Carr until they move here, though.
Yeah, they'll probably play him one more year. But I'm saying, look at depending on how the rest of this season goes, are the Bengals going to be looking for a quarterback? They're going to be done with Andy Dalton.
Potentially. They could look for somebody and just have a year of.
Denver could be looking for a quarterback. They have one.
Denver's always looking for a quarterback.
Well, they have one more year at Case Keenum, but maybe not. Washington just re-signed Alex Smith. There's not a ton of teams looking for a quarterback. There's a chance that Dallas could get one of these guys in the second round next year. Locke and probably not Herbert, but maybe one of those guys, Browning. Excuse me, Brian Finley. Maybe those guys fall to the second round, and you just
scoop one.
Yeah, second rounds. I think second round quarterbacks or skill position players still have a high expectation, almost as high as first round picks.
Yeah, especially if their football IQ indicates their talent level as well. I really like a quarterback in the second round for good value. So
yeah, Drew Brees, one of the best second round quarterbacks of all time.
Absolutely.
So I don't know, it'd be interesting. I don't mind Jerry Jones coming out and saying this because I think when he says Dak's going to get extended, it could just mean the 5th-year option. We're in year 3 of Dak Prescott, and I would say year 1, everything came together. The line was healthy. Zeke Elliott was a beast. They had Des Bryant. They had Jason Witten. Last year, Zeke got suspended for 6 games. The line got a little hurt. This year, the line's hurt. There's no receivers until, last week, Amari Cooper. We'll see what give the guy a week. Let's see what Amari Cooper. I understand they lost to Tennessee, but let's see what Amari Cooper can bring and open up the offense for Dak. Maybe they get a receiver in the draft. Maybe they get a receiver through free agency. You never quite know. I don't think they're ready to turn the page on Dak. And I hate to use this expression. Nothing's ever as great as it seems and nothing's ever as low as it seems. I think Dak Prescott's a fine quarterback.
I think so too.
They're so strapped with paying other players, Sean Lee, Tyron Smith,
that they're paying the price in
DeMarcus Lawrence
positions where they should be.
Well, and that's fine that they're paying DeMarcus Lawrence. They're not getting production out of DeMarcus Lawrence like they should be. The guys are paying on the line. Tyron Smith, just coming back, but what's his face? Travis Frederick's been out freaking almost all year. The problem is they're going while they're on Dak's rookie deal and Zeke's rookie deal. I feel like they're not spending the money in the right spots to make their team Super Bowl contenders, because that's kind of the new wave. Look at Jared Goff. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Look at Russell Wilson back before he got paid. You have to draft a quarterback and hit and use that 5-year window to go balls to the wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless you can get a guy like Tom Brady who's only willing to take $20 million.
Yeah,
which that doesn't happen.
No.
Not everybody has $100 million supermodel wives.
Well, that and
so they got to get
endorsement deals and all that.
Man, the freaking Cowboys this year have $28 million in dead money.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
And that's probably what's really killing them the most is all that dead money.
Zeke's making $6. Dak's making $725,000.
Wow.
Shit. They're paying their wide receivers.
Yeah, what they really need to work on is that defensive secondary, like strong safeties, cornerbacks.
Fucking Amari Cooper makes $411,000 this year. Next year he makes $13.9.
Yeah.
But like I said, if Amari Cooper can be productive,
yeah.
I mean, I look at these wide receivers. Terrence Williams, long-term injured reserve, he's out. He makes $4.5 million.
Yeah.
Allen Hurns, $4.5 million. Cole Beasley, $4.25 million. Tavon Austin, $3 million. They provide nothing.
I know.
Go wrap up Cole Beasley, Tavon Austin, and Deontay Thompson make up $8 million. No disrespect to Cole Beasley. Take $8 million a year and go find yourself a receiver.
Absolutely, yeah. But that or maybe find a good tight end too. I mean,
yeah, I feel like they got done dirty by Jason Witten this year.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the pieces of the puzzles that they weren't
planning on having to fix.
Yeah,
going into the year. Let's see who becomes a free agent next year, wide receiver wise. Larry Fitzgerald. I don't know about that, but
yeah, that's.
But you could try. I mean,
you could try.
He's going to take $8 million.
I don't see him going elsewhere.
The wide receiver market is thin. Mm-hmm. John Brown's a wide receiver next year. He makes $5 million this year. You can give him an $8 million with Texas with no state income tax. John Brown's pretty good. Yeah. Golden Tate's a free agent next year.
Yeah, unless if Philly exercises their option on them.
No, he's a UFA.
Oh, is he UFA?
No, yeah, I mean, not saying they're not going to try to return or not going to try to get him to return, but
they'd be stupid not to. But
right, but I'm just saying, if you're an unrestricted free agent, you can listen to anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure he'll listen to Eagles first and move forward, but
maybe
never know.
You never know. We got 8 more weeks of football. Things could go really south in a hurry. Randall Cobb, yeah, not a whole lot going on. Kelvin Benjamin will be a free agent. Josh Gordon will be a free agent next year. He's from Texas, I think. He played at Baylor. I think he's from Texas.
Gordon, not sure where he is from.
Yeah, but he played at Baylor, so you never know. He could use the Patriots to springboard his career again. Yeah, other than that, there's not really much going on as far as... I like that Adam Humphries from Tampa Bay. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, he's from Houston, Texas, yeah.
Who, Josh Gordon?
Yeah.
So there you go. Brandon LaFell, Darius Hayward-Bay. God, the wide receiver market's thin. But at the same time, wide receivers, at some point they're a dime a dozen, but at the same time, you got to either know how to use them, and that's where Jason Garrett comes in. Talking about that vote of confidence and blah, 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 and all this. But
what about Des Bryant? He's going to be a free agent.
Yeah. I don't think that's happening.
Speaking of Des
Bryant, he signed a 1-year deal. Damn. We got like a couple minutes left in the podcast.
Man, this flew by.
Speaking of Des, he did sign a 1-year deal. I don't like the deal. A lot of people seem to. I understand, your need to put somebody on the other side of Michael Thomas. I mean, this is all based on, history. But I just don't know if Dak Prescott. I'm still looking at Dak Prescott. I don't know if Des Bryant disrupts the chemistry of a team that's freaking 8-1 at this point, 7-1.
And that's the problem. I think he can. I think
he's got to learn that he is not the number one. He may not even be the number 2.
I think he's realistically the number 3.
He may not even be He may not be the number 3 receiver. He may not even be the number 3 option.
Yeah, he's not even the number 3 option.
He might not be. He might be the number 5 option. I mean, I look at it.
Ingram, Kamara.
Well, Ingram, Kamara, Thomas, Watson, Smith.
Yeah.
I would put him probably on the same with Smith. So he's the number 5/6. 5/6 option.
Wow.
He's going to be used as more of a decoy or a special prop, in my opinion, with timely catches. You need him for what? 60 yards and 60 yards a game and 45, 60 yards a game, and what? Let's see, there's 8 games left, so let's say he gets. No, I'll just say he gets 4 touchdowns, 4 or 5 touchdowns. You need him to be able to get first downs, not touchdowns at this point. So he's going to be a guy who catches 4 balls for 27 yards, but 3 of them are for first downs. That's what you need out of Des Bryant right now.
Yeah. Just something to move the chains forward and keep the offense on the field.
He kind of reminds me of like when Keyshawn came to Tampa from the Jets. Mm-hmm. Keyshawn and the Jets was like, whoa, he was a great receiver. He could stretch the field. He could run over the middle. When Dungy and Gruden brought him to Tampa, he was a possession receiver who was fantastic within 15 yards of the line of scrimmage.
And that's sometimes.
And then they had Keenan McCardle, who was the burner.
Yeah. I mean, I have a feeling they're going to utilize him as a decoy deep down the field. Or like you said...
I don't see him getting 18-plus yards down the field. Unless he just sneaks out. I'm not saying he'll never have a catch over 20 yards. I'm just saying I don't think there's going to be too many routes designed for him to be running past 15 yards.
His target pass is about 10 to 15 yards.
Yeah, he's going to be after... The yards after catch is him.
Yeah.
I'm talking about an actual error from Breeze to Bryant. That ball won't travel more than 7 to 15 yards regularly.
Fair enough. I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
I'm not saying it's a bad sign. I'm just saying it could be. Could be a bad sign. Let's talk a little baseball. We've got about 7 minutes left in the podcast here, and we want to, again, thank our sponsors, 12-Ounce Sports Radio, VGK Pop Sockets, and, of course, ChaiPoker.com. We've got the NFL. Goddamn. We've got MLB awards coming up here in a little less than a week. And let's just talk about the big 3, MVP, Cy Young, and Rookie of the Year. The MVP right now, the year in the AL, we have the 3 options right now are, what are they, Mookie Betts, Mike Trout, and Jose Ramirez.
Yes.
But right now, the current odds on Bovada as of today are Mookie Betts minus 425, Mike Trout plus 450, and Jose Ramirez plus 800.
I would say Jose Ramirez is second, in my opinion, to Mike Trout, and Mookie just runs away with it, though.
Yeah, I think Mookie's got to run away with that. I mean, he's second in OPS, first in batting average, 32 home runs this year.
Yeah.
And struck out less than 100 times, which Jose did too. But obviously led his team to the World Series, which, again, it's the regular season award. I get it. But if you're going to have a regular season award, you need to
just
give
it on the
well, you need to give it before the playoffs start.
Yeah.
Because everybody saw what Mookie did in the first 2 rounds. I mean, if you really want to hurt, Mookie didn't have a great World Series.
No, he didn't.
He had 1 home run. He didn't bat very well.
No, he didn't. He struck out frequently compared to what he's used to. And
yeah, he did not bat very well. I was surprised to see that J.D. Martinez wasn't a candidate. I think it's just because he's a DH.
Yeah.
The DH continues to just get
hosed.
Yeah, but well.
Yeah, I think if they took Mike Trout out and put out JD, then
yeah, I mean Mike Trout. No disrespect to him. I mean, obviously he has a great year. He was first in OPS, 39 homers. What did he get? 79 RBIs. That's not great, but
yeah,
312 batting average does every year. He struck out 124 times, which You can take strikeouts off the book. I mean, he did walk 122 times. I mean, people were intentionally walking him.
Yeah.
He's still a guy that commands that. I don't know if Jose or Mookie get that.
Yeah.
As like Mike Trout does. But yeah, you're right. At minus 425, I think Mookie's going to walk away with this, especially if Mike Trout's the next best available option.
I think Jose was the next best available option.
Now, you sprinkle it on the 800.
I think Mookie just runs away with it. I would lay Mookie on this one for sure.
Lay Mookie. All right, so let's move over to the National League, and you have 3 candidates, all who made the playoffs. Christian Yelich, Javier Baez, and Nolan Arenado. Current odds, Christian Yelich is minus 230, Baez is plus 230, and Arenado is plus 850.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, this one's a lot more closer than the AL one. Based on the values that you told me, I like Arenado at, what is it, 850?
Yeah, Arenado with a 935 OPS, which was good for second in the league. Yeah. Led the league in homers, 110 RBIs, which is tied with Yelich. His batting average was a little low. 10th in the league, though, still pretty good at 297. Struck out the least of all 3 candidates. Mm-hmm. Christian Yelich is the favorite. He has a 1,000 OPS. Also hit 38 home runs, which is 3rd in the league, and tied with Arenado for second behind Javier Baez, who was 34 and 111 with a 290 batting average, but he did strike out 167 times.
Yeah. I think in this race, Yelich takes the cake, Arenado gets second, and Baez gets third.
I think the value there is on Javier Baez, because I think Yelich up into the last month and a half of the regular season when Milwaukee went on their tear was just okay. I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But Javier Baez was having a great season for about 5.5 months.
True.
So I agree with you. I think Yelich probably wins this, but I think Javier Baez is a value. I'm going to take a little on Javi Baez. What do you think? You think Yelich? You think it just goes 1, 2, 3 here? Yelich, Baez, or Arenado?
No, I think Yelich, Arenado, Baez. I think Baez finishes third in this.
We want to do them like racehorses?
Sure.
All right, I'll just take it as it is. Yelich, Baez, Arenado.
No.
All right. Let's look at the Cy Young award candidates. We have in the American League Blake Snell at 150 odds, minus 150. We have Justin Verlander at plus 750. And we have Corey Kluber at plus 1,100. Those are the official 3 candidates.
Yeah, this one I think will be a very close race. What are the current odds on them?
Blake Snell is minus 150, Verlander's plus 750, and Corey Kluber's 11-1.
Wow. Yeah, I think Snell is definitely going to take this, though, but I don't know. I think based on the names of the other ones, they get a little credit, but not nearly as much as they normally do. Both had really good years. I mean, Verlander led the American League in strikeouts with 290 and the majors in WHIP. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I see him finishing second and Kluber slight third. So
yeah, I mean, you have. Corey Kluber pitched pretty well, ERA of only 2.89, but he's going to be. It's going to fall just like that. I think Verlander had a great year, 16-9, 2.52 ERA, 200 now, almost 300 strikeouts. But Blake Snell, freaking guy only
21 wins,
21-5. He only gave up 38 earned runs on the year in 31 starts.
Yeah, his ERA was 1.89. That's pretty solid.
Is, not Jacob deGrom. Actually, he gave up less than Jacob deGrom, but Jacob deGrom had an extra start.
Yeah.
I think it's Blake Snell. I think the value is on the favorite right there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's going to be the spot. Let's look at the National League. You have DeGrom at minus 325, Max Scherzer of the Nationals at plus 280, and Aaron Nola of the Phillies at 9.5, plus 950. Everybody who's anybody, I don't know about people who have, I don't know who has a vote, says that DeGrom is running away with this. It's hard to say. Obviously after Felix Hernandez did it a few years ago, obviously they take wins and factor them a little bit less. He is 10-9 with a 1.7 ERA. He's a lower ERA than Blake Snell. Gave up 41 earned runs in 32 starts over 217 innings. Had 269 Ks. I still think Max Scherzer is going to win this, though.
Really?
18-7 with a 2.5 ERA, 300 strikeouts. I believe he's going to get the third in a row. I think he's won the last two.
He has, yeah.
I think he's going to get his third in a row.
It would be his fourth total.
Fourth overall.
Yeah. I don't know. What are the current odds on all three of them?
I already said that.
I didn't hear.
Jacob deGrom minus 250, Scherzer plus 250, and Aaron Nola plus 850.
All right. I think Lane and deGrom's probably a good spot on this.
All right, well, I'll take Scherzer. You take deGrom for $1.
Sure.
All right.
Lock it up.
All right, we got a couple minutes. Let's look at the Rookie of the Year odds. I'm going to say I don't even care who else is in the National League. Ronald Acuna is winning the National League Rookie of the Year. And as much as I want to say Shohei Ohtani is going to win this, I think my vote is with Andujar.
Yeah, I think those two are hand in hand, and I think with his slugging with 27 home runs and had a Yankees rookie record with 47 doubles, that's pretty impressive.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
What about Acuna? I don't think there's anybody challenging him.
No, I don't see anybody pretty close to him. Maybe Bueller, but
yeah, Walker Bueller. That's not a bad one.
Yeah, I don't think Soto's performed.
I don't think he played enough.
Great, yeah. I think he was on the side too much, but I don't know. I think Acuna wins it, but Bueller's maybe a close second. But
I'll go with Shohei Ohtani just for fun.
All right.
But I think Andujar and Acuna are the Rookie of the Years in the American National League.
I think if Ohtani didn't get hurt, then he would have a stronger case.
Yeah, he had a few patches where he missed, and he's probably going to miss next year.
Yeah.
It's hard to advertise your sport when your Rookie of the Year is on the shelf next year.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right, well, that's a good stopping point to wrap up there. We want to thank again our sponsors, 12-Ounce Sports Radio, VGK Pop Sockets, and ChaiPoker.com. What else? We got like 30 seconds left. What else were we supposed to talk about? Man, this podcast was quick.
I know, it just flew by. I don't know.
No, the Dodgers re-up Dave Roberts.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I thought they were going to fire him.
Falcon signing Bruce Irvin.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Reunites with Dan Quinn.
Yeah. I think Falcons desperately need a player, but I think it's a little too late for them.
Yeah, 4-5, right? Well, what are they? 4-5, 5-4?
I think 4-5.
No, they're not that bad, are they? I think they're 4. Are they 4 and 5? Well, I think they're 5-4, aren't they? 4-4. Or 4-4. Okay.
4-4, yeah.
All right. They're still. Let's see. How's the playoff standings look? If the playoffs started today, they'd be out, but they'd be the first one out. So that's not terrible. They're a game and a half behind Minnesota.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst. You got 3 teams right there: Atlanta, Seattle, and Philadelphia. All the birds 4-4.
Wow. Yeah.
Except for the Cardinals, they suck.
Yeah.
My bet's not looking good for
teams
having 14 or more losses.
Yeah.
I'm losing with Buffalo, Cleveland, Oakland, Giants, Niners, and Cardinals.
Yeah, and surprising with one of those teams is San Francisco.
Garoppolo out kind of sucks.
Garoppolo out, but they had close games with Bedford, and so
let's not go crazy here now.
I mean, they almost beat the Packers.
Oh, God damn it! Shut up.
I was hoping they were going to beat the Packers.
Yeah, me too. All right, well, that's it for us. We appreciate you tuning in. For Token Tony, I am Aaron. We will catch you on the next episode, which is the Picks and Chatter podcast, our NCAA picks, which will be available Friday and Saturday on 12 Ounce. So good luck, and we will catch you on the next one.